Good evening, viewers. Once again, I welcome you all to this very channel that is very powerful with frequencies of high energy. In case, for those of you who are joining the broadcast today, I am known as King Priest Best Man E.C. Onyeso, a royal priesthood, a divine one. Or in my last topic, which was spirituality, understanding the power of the word spirituality, because spirituality is not just an ordinary word. Spirituality is not an ordinary thing. Spirituality is a mandatory thing. It is mandatory for everyone to be spiritual, because even the animals, they are spiritually inclined. That's why the Bible let us to understand that when God created the heavens and the earth in Genesis, He first of all created animals before the humans. And when you notice in this life where we found ourselves, there is no spirituality that is being carried out here in Africa and beyond, that when the spiritualist requests for an item, 70 to 85% must ask of a creature that has life, because every creature that has life has their own kind of blood in their colors. But humans are made up of the red blood cells and equally the white blood cells. Most animals are made up of the red blood cells. So that color you see is a cell. It has a capacity to charge. That's why even the battery functions with cells. Thank you for that. Today, I will be talking about spirituality itself, because my last topic was pure spirituality. But today's topic, I tagged spirituality and altar. Spirituality and altar. Spirituality and altar. Because spirituality is one area. Altar is another area. Now, I will break down for you all. First of all, let me break down the words, because there are two different words in their dynamic ways, but they function together. They function in the same sequence. Now, let's go to spirituality. I say spirituality, it is the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul, or opposed to material, opposed to nature, or the physical things. One getting to let go of certain physical things, then trying to understand that subconsciousness in him. Because whenever a man goes back to his own shell, not relating with anyone, because even the Bible said, let us reason together. So you're expected to reason within yourself. And whenever a man tries to reason within himself, that man is trying to align himself back to God. Because the Bible said, he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. Because before you decided to reason within yourself, there is a probability that that issue at that point in time cannot be disclosed to anyone. So you're expected to come back to God, to seek his face, because it's written in Matthew 7:7, said, ask, it shall be given unto you, seek, ye shall find, knock, and the door will be open. So when you sit back, you meditate, then you begin to get answers from your subconscious mind, from the he that is in you, because the Bible says he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. Now at that point, your spirit will begin to receive that sorrowful moment. Then your mental capacity is expected to get a signal of diverse frequencies. Diverse frequencies. Now that chapter, I will pause and I will come back to balance it up. So next we have is a altar. Altar. Now when you hear the word altar, altar from an ordinary literal language is one removing something that has been placed somewhere, kept somewhere by some other person, then you going there to remove it. So if I'm seated here and some other person comes here to remove me from this place, now whoever that told me to sit here, the person that removed me from where I'm seated now has altered the order of whoever that said I should sit here at this time. Now applying powers is an application, is an application of powers being applied at every or some point in time in a man's life. Now let's switch it to the spiritual aspect. Now the word altar can be seen, identified, or told as a sacred place, whether physical structure or dedicated area, or even a system that serves as a bridge between the between spirituality and the physical realms, enabling communication to take place, enabling worship to take place, and which equally establish the medium of covenants between a person and the divine. Now you hear that word, say between a person and the divine. Now meaning that altars function better when a human understands the divine gift of God upon him or her. So how divine are you as you go about spirituality? I don't know if you understand, because spirituality is a body. Now for that body to work, for that body to move, for that body to function, there should be an altar. Now that altar is not an ordinary place. That altar is a place of power. It's a place where frequencies are expected to connect to and equally to disconnect from. Greater powers are expected to connect to an altar. Lesser powers are expected to disconnect from an altar. But how can powers in their frequencies connect and disconnect from an altar? Now that drives us back to the aspect of the capacity of the spirituality of a man. So if you as a human is not spiritually inclined and you have been given an altar to operate, you can equally fail while operating that altar. It's like one operating an excavating machine operating an excavating machine but do not have an experience in operating such a machine. Now what happens? Any slight mistake can be disastrous to him himself, to whoever that is within that terrain. So altars are not ordinary. Altars are not mere things. So if a man seems to be spiritually inclined and a man has an altar in his compound, in his family place, or a man do go to visit altars, and such a man, the family where he comes from, they are not progressing, then that man should understand that altar do not have the capacity to function in that terrain. Because every terrain, God created every terrain to function according to their energy. That's why the Bible said, for the he that is in you is greater than the he that is in the world. So the he that is in you cannot function without God coming in. The he that is in you cannot even be activated from the day your mother slept with your dad. That which enabled your mother to conceive you. If the energy of where you are rooted from is not activated, I don't think a man will be able to be here on earth. But if a man is being given birth here on earth, then it means that man has a potential. And such potentials are not ordinary. Every man is connected to an energy. The ability for a man to understand his or her energy, now that drives that man to his greater point. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. The Bible said so. That is because so many persons do not understand why things are going wrong. Things are already going wrong. That is because the altar plate that functions in your house, that functions in your father's compound, that functions in your root, is operating on a lesser power, is operating on a lesser energy. Because the Bible said, let us to understand, that thou shalt not cause the ruler of the land, nor thy gods of the land, which still comes back to him, the Alpha and the Omega, the I am that I am, the ancients of the days. Now that's to tell you that he created everything. So even the Bible will say that God created a sun to be the greater light over the day, and the moon to be the lesser light over the night. And in this world, we have just one sun shining downwards here on earth. And every sun shineth in every location at a specific time. Now you ask yourself, each time the sun shines within your compound, in your community, you ask yourself, what kind of energy is it charging? Because even the white man built a solar panel, and you bought it, you planted that solar panel in your compound because of the rise of fuel and all that. Now what happens? During the daytime, the solar light will be off, but once the night comes, by 6, 7, the light of the solar panel turns on. You don't know that is a science? That is a gift of God upon a man's life, to understand that I have created the moon that can be shined by the power of the sun during the day, for this moon to shine at night. Because when the natural moon is not out at that point in time, at that night, that solar panel that has charged that solar system, the light will be turned on automatically, because it has been programmed through an altar. Something has been altered. So the lights do not function ordinarily. The lights do not work the same way we used to function with lights, by turning on our generator, by expecting the NEPA or the power service providers to give us light. No, it has been programmed to function according to their time and by their season. Now that is a science. Now that equally lets us to understand that spirituality is scientific. Spirituality is a science. When a man activates the gift of God in him, now what happens? God will give you wisdom and understanding. Now the wisdom and understanding that comes upon you is not a wisdom of understanding that will make you to be speaking parables like a Nollywood star. No. The wisdom and understanding God gives to you is the gift that will expand your understanding according to his gift in you. That which you find so easy to do. Now you begin to understand that where men carry out a function for 2-3 hours, within 20-30 minutes you are done with it. Now when you're such a person and you kill yourself to God by trying to worship God in truth and in spirit, not just by going to church, not just by saying I'm a Christian, not just by saying I'm a Muslim, not just by saying I don't believe in spirituality, because most persons they say so. If you do not believe in spirituality, have you asked yourself, why are you still alive? That is because the energy within your terrain, there are persons that are using those energies. Now you're not aware, they don't want you to be aware. So they function by carrying out a course. As long as you are rooted from that place, you won't ever have the flair to be spiritual. You see things ordinarily. That's what the Bible classified as a carnal mind. Very empty. That is because such humans have been programmed through a device known as altar. That's what the Bible said in 2 Corinthians when you read from 10. 2 Corinthians 10 verse 3. So you're not expected to wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in very high places. You don't know that each principalities and powers in their highest places are directly and 45 degrees connected to your roots, where you come from. Every individual at every point in time or at some point in time is expected to understand themselves, equally to checkmate themselves. Why are things going wrong? Why are things going right? Why is it that whenever the festive period is occurring, that is when I feel the presence of riches, the presence of greatness? Now you should understand that the reason why the culture comes up and you feel so good, so great, is because the he that is in you is not ordinarily. Because even literature let us to understand that culture is not expected to remove from culture, but to add into culture. So the reason why you might have that great feel of wealth, of riches, whenever the festive period approaches, is as a result of your connection to where you are coming from. Because someone some time ago has made a declaration, has made a decree upon thy sons from thy roots to be great. So whenever it approaches that time, when that declaration was made, whoever that is connected to that root must feel it, no matter what is stopping it. But once that time dies off, then the causes of men still from your roots begin to arise. Now, such causes cannot be broken without the power of an altar, because such causes have been activated through the devices known as altar. Because even the computer, when you check the keyboards of the computer, now you confirm to see the control key. Now you see the word Windows. Now you equally see the word altar, which is written as ALT, alternate. Now when you want to shut down a system without using the mouse, what you do? You press Control Alternate Delete. The system will pop up telling you to shut down the system. Why? Because you have altered the system. That's to tell you the power of the word altar. So any man that functions in spirituality without an altar is like fighting a battle he can never win. Spirituality is not, it cannot be carried out without the function of an altar. Those of you who go to church on daily basis, let me ask you, do you have an altar plate? Do you have an altar corner? Do you have a place that is sacred where you go to call God, to call the He that is in you one-on-one without you calling the pastor? Because most of you do not understand that certain miracles that happens inside the church is as a result of who you are there in that church at that point in time. When the pastor will say, "You foul spirit, leave," and the person that is about to stumble is seated close to you. Now the person doesn't move at that time. Now once you are connected to that man of God in prayers, what happens? The person begins to tumble. Now you feel the man of God made it to happen. No, it is the power of God that is in you, just that you do not know the He that is in you. That He that is in you has the power to scatter things, to pull down yokes, to excavate things that are not good. You feel like the pastor or this pastor title. No. Check yourself. Don't go to that church for 6 months and see if such miracles can take place, except a different individual that has the capacity of the grace of God in you is in that premises. Altars are not ordinary. Altars are not things one should just think is no. Altar is a device. Altar is like a transmitter connecting the human physically back to the realms of the spirit. So a man is not expected to command the principalities and powers in the high places ordinarily. A man is expected to carry out that command with the power of an altar. A man is not expected to pray every foundational yokes be broken ordinarily without an altar plate. A man is not expected to even pray for an individual that has an issue without having an altar. Why? Because when you pray for certain persons and you do not understand the He that is in you, what happens? When they go, they will come back. And when they come back, they are coming back not just to make you feel, they are coming back equally to bring forth shame unto the gift of God in your life. So you're expected to come to your Father, because even the Bible said, "No man cometh to my Father except through me, Christ the Lord," the Son of God. So if Jesus has died for you on the cross of the Calvary, are you expected to die for anyone? No. Jesus has carried his cross. That cross is an altar. You yourself, do you know your kind of cross? Your cross might not be that of Jesus, because every man has diverse gifts. That's why even the Bible recorded that even when the master traveled into a far land, say he gave this first servant 5 gifts, he gave the second servant 2 gifts, and he gave the last one 1. When the master came back, the one that had 5 produced extra 5. The one that had 2 produced extra 2. The one that had 1 hid his own, didn't planted it, didn't sow it. Now the master requested, and he went and he brought the seed. What did the master do? Collected the 1 seed, and he gave it to the one that had 10 and made it 11. Meaning that power has been given unto that which is complete. So if a man is given birth with 5 fingers left and right, 5 fingers left and right, 5 plus 5, 10. Then the feet, the toenails, 10. Don't that man equally understands that he needs an extra 1 to make it 11? Now you ask yourself, what is that extra 1 needed to make it 11? That is the he that is in you, that is greater than the he that is in the world. Ask yourself, why the football, in football, why are the players 11? Why are the players 11? Ask yourself. You think football is an ordinary game? No, that is a spiritual science. That is the science of God, the omniscience. Once you accept the he that is in you, the omnipresence functions in your life, because he is the omniscience. Then every dead thing will begin to germinate, because he is the omnipotent. The Alpha and the Omega, the ancients of the days, the I am that I am, the King of glory. Ebube. I don't know if I'm communicating to anyone out there. The spirituality of God's kingdom has grown beyond that aspect that I will be speaking to you through this line of frequency. And I will expect you to have faith before whatever I'm saying here will function in your life. No, the power of God has grown beyond that, because we do not function carnally. We function in a dimension that whatever thing we say to you, we expect you to doubt it. We expect you to disbelieve it. We expect you to disagree. But when you disagree and you doubt, do you know what you're doing? You're not disagreeing with I, the king priest. You're disagreeing with the he that is in me, because the he that is in me is always greater than the he that is in the world. So what happens? The he that is in me comes after he that is in the world. Even the prodigal son that left his father's house, what happened? He came back. Why? Because his root never agreed with him, with the formula he applied to leave his father's house. You are not expected to leave your father's house physically. You are expected to leave your father's house spiritually. When you leave your father's house spiritually, by accepting the power of God in you, by accepting the he that is in you, then whenever the sun shineth upon your community, shineth upon your town, shineth upon your household, you must get the signal of the frequencies of whatever that is happening there. Because humans are wirelessly connected through the powers of the hair. Because the hair is a dead cell. The hair of a human is a dead cell, which is the antenna. Because when lightning occurs upon a roof, that which makes everything inside thy house to damage by the voltage of the lightning. Wasn't activated ordinary. It was the signal came in through the power of the antenna outside. But the antenna doesn't get burnt. But every other thing that is connected gets burnt. Why? Because the TV has a capacity to show the visuals. And the antenna is connected to the TV. Even the DVD is connected to the TV. The home theater is connected to the TV. Several things are connected to the TV. So when the antenna receives a signal from above that is dynamic in its voltage, then every other lesser power will bow. A man is not expected to be ordinary. A man is expected to be extraordinary. God created every man to be great. God created every man to understand that he or she is not ordinary. You are not ordinary. The Bible said God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. Even as when darkness was upon the surface of the deep, what happened? The Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Don't you know that here on earth is known as a kingdom of darkness? And God said, let there be light. And God created in his own image and likeness, that you equally have the capacity to move upon the surface of the waters. And whenever you say, let there be light, there must be lightning. And there must be thunder. Because you have activated the Spirit of God to move upon the surface of the waters. And every darkness that is within your household will pack out, physically or spiritually. Every kingdom of darkness is not activated ordinarily. The kingdom of darkness is expected to be activated by the power of God, by the He that is in you. You are a ruler. You are a king, a royal priesthood. But how can you understand and identify the stool of God in you? Is when you draw close to God, when you worship God in truth and in spirit. Worshipping God in truth and in spirit doesn't mean you must look strange. In a way that you are expected to please everyone you see around you. No. Worshipping God comes from thy heart. It is very deep. Whenever you say, let there be light, the darkness that is occupying that deep space in your life will leave. Then you begin to see everything around you will manifest for the greatness of God upon your life. Things in your family will change. If Christ has died for you, you are not expected to die for anyone. All this cannot be activated when a man is worshiping God ordinarily. You are not expected to worship God ordinarily. You have to be spiritual. When you are spiritual, to a certain realms in the most high places, then you understand the functions of the altars. You understand the functions of the altars. You get to understand that a man doesn't win a political position ordinarily. Those are commands that are carried out scientifically in the realms of the spirit. The life which we live here on earth is a place of war. Is a place of war. Every man is expected to have his own tool. Every man is expected to have his own briefcase. How do you function? Do you have an altar? Do you have a place that is sacred? Having an altar is not just by setting a table, putting a Bible upon it. Because those are very common areas we've seen. You keep a table and you put a Bible upon it. No. That is not an altar. That is a bookshelf. Because the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word is in you. The God is in you. When you do not activate the God that is in you, you cannot connect to God in the most high places. The Alpha and the Omega, the ancients of the days, the I am that I am, the Ebubedike one. He that gives a man capacity to appear before demons, and no demon will make fame. That is the power of God. When men say that is a casting down, we will say that is a lifting up. When you worship God in a level that even when you're owing a man, you're owing a man. You're owing a man. When the man begins to complain, you will see it in the realm of the spirit. And you'll be the one to call him. Why are you complaining? I know I'm owing you. It's a practical thing. We are not commanders in the realm of the spirit. We are generals. We are generals. We don't plead for things to function. We command the commanders. Who do men say I am? Jesus asked the Pilate. Who do men say I am? How did they see you? How do men look at you? Are you not tired? Why can't you shock humans with the power of the He that is in you? Life is beyond living it ordinary. I urge everyone viewing these visuals this time to understand that several things that have failed, several things that have been delayed, several fights in life wasn't ordinary. They are spiritual matters. They are scientific matters. Every man is connected to his roots. Every man has the capacity to make wealth. Every man has the capacity to be great. When you're not great in the realm of the spirit, how can you be great physically? Even when you force yourself to be great physically, before your old age, the greatness will run away. Why? Because it wasn't activated. That activation of your greatness is not directly proportional to the divine calling of the power of God in your life, which is a He that is in you. How do you pray? Learn how to pray from 11 p.m. Whenever you want to pray, either you pray from 11 a.m. or you pray from 11 p.m. I'm giving you a secret. Don't wait till 12. And when you're praying within 11 a.m. or 11 p.m., don't pray by pleading. Pray with tongues of warfare. For the fact that I have told you this, when you pray, you must see it. It's a test. Ebube, carry it out. Function that which I have said. Carry it out with a practical nature of 3 days fasting. That which has been disturbing you, that which is trying to fail, cannot. Ebube, Ebube, Ebube. We worship God in truth and in spirit. We understand the capacity of God. The new generation of the power of God has come. Don't you know you too, you have the new generation of power of God in you? If you can test humans by trying to be loyal to them in order for you to benefit, why not try to test God in worshiping Him in truth and in spirit, and see the signs and wonders in their rays of light upon your life? Then you understand why stars shine at night and not in the daytime. Because the greatness of men shine at night, because joy cometh in the morning. That's why the Bible said when men slept, the evil one, they went to and fro looking for wood to devour. That was how the stars of Jesus were found, by the 3 wise men. They were the scientific men to identify, to understand the greatness of Jesus through the star. Stars don't shine in the daytime. Stars shine at night. So when the Bible said darkness was upon the surface of the deep, the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. Stars shine at night. Stars don't shine in the day. Before you go out tomorrow morning, pray by 11 p.m. Then wake up in the morning. If you like, pray. If you like, don't pray. And you see the wonderful work of God in your life. Thank you for listening. Before I go, let me remind you, spirituality functions powerfully through the medium of altar. Do you have an altar? How is an altar? Why not make a research? And equally, place your comments. Ask me through the comment section. You can equally chat me up via 23 plus 234 81 35 304014. Please share, like, comment, follow. In any which way you can add to this, you are free to come in. Once again, I am King Priest, Best Man, Ebitmi Choma Onyesu. Come your way again in the next topic. Thank you. Have a great day. In the name of Ebube, I pray. Amen.